Social media has been set ablaze because of the controversial Cat Williams and Club Shay Shay interview. If you haven't watched it, you'll see that in this interview, Cat Williams goes in on many of our common comedians of our day, such as Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer. One of those other comedians is Rickey Smiley. Here is what Cat Williams said regarding roles for Friday After Next, where Rickey Smiley claimed he originally went there to audition for Money Mike. Obviously, Cat had issues with it because he clapped back with this. This man told you he had Cat Williams' role. He was going to be Money Mike and Cat Williams was going to be the Santa Claus, Williams said. We auditioned in Los Angeles. I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning, and you had already had that role and had already shot the role in 4 days. Well, Rickey Smiley responded to that by saying on his own platform, he says, and just for clarification, I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not the Santa Claus, and that is the honest to God truth. I had no reason to go on Shannon Sharp's show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for, was Money Mike. And I guess the producers, and he claims Ice Cube, and everybody saw something different. So, I guess when Cat Williams did it, they added a whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier. Cause ain't no way in hell I could have executed that role like that. And I'm glad that they made it that decision and they put me in the Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. And then he goes on to say, so when I got back to LA, they say, hey, your role has changed. You're going to be Santa Claus, and here's the Santa Claus suit. Put it on, and here's your lines. And so he said he sat in the trailer, he went over the lines, he went over his stuff with Ice Cube, and the rest is history. And he says, I just want to clarify that he had no reason to lie about that. So my opinion about that comment is that I just asked the question, why would Rickey Smiley needed to have lied about it when he did? Like, it didn't make sense to me. This man actually came out and said Cat was better for the position. And because of it, the movie came out funnier. And Cat did an even better job at it. So I just raised the question in my mind, why would Rickey Smiley needed to have lied about this? Maybe you can comment in the comment section. The second thing Cat claimed in an interview was this. He says, Williams claimed he had a clause placed in his contract stipulating that he would only work with Smiley if he was wearing a dress in his roles. And you see the comments below, which kind of justified why Cat said that. And it makes sense that him, along with other characters, when they played women, it came off with a great hit. So that would kind of make sense as to why Cat would say that. Okay, but Williams responded, he says, and there was no contract ever that in agreement with the First Sunday movie, because that was a whole different production, directed by who just directed my Netflix special, David E. Talbert, about him playing Bernice Jenkins. And he says, that's something that David called me personally. David and Len are fans and have been fans of my work for a long time. And it was like, we want you to play Bernice Jenkins, and and here you go. And that's what happened. And I went out there and shot that in one day, me and Red Grant. And that was a lot of fun, and it had nothing to do with the Cat Williams contract. So the whole controversy here is that Cat is saying that his contract stood, the contract for Friday After Next, his contract would have been applicable for this next movie that him and Rickey Smiley acted in, which was First Sunday. But I want you to notice Rickey Smiley said something that's key here. He said, that's a whole different production directed by somebody else. So in actual fact, that's a whole different production. Okay, so I did some fact check, and sure enough, Friday After Next was produced showing here, if you Google the results, it's showing here that it was produced by Ice Cube and Matt Alvarez. And the first Sunday was actually produced by David E. Blatt and the two, yes, Ice Cube and Matt Alvarez, who were also included for Friday After Next. But it includes many other persons in addition to those two: David E. Talbert, David McLivin, and Tim Story. And if you actually look on Wikipedia, you see that it was released theatrically by Sony. So totally different production companies. So then you have to ask yourself the question, who is telling the truth? Who is more than likely lying here? Is it really Cat Williams or is it Rickey Smiley? I don't know about you, but it seems as though that Rickey Smiley doesn't have anything to lie about, and what he's saying makes more sense than the accusations that Cat Williams is saying. I'd like to know your thoughts. Please leave a comment. Let me know who you think is lying, and maybe if you have some evidence that I don't have. Thanks for watching, guys.